Ex-Sports Cabinet Secretary Rashid Echesa and 3 others have been arraigned at the JKIA Law Courts to face charges of fraud. Remember, the 4 were arrested yesterday by DCI detectives in a deal that would have seen an American investor lose about 39 billion Kenyan shillings. Echesa and his co-accused are suspected to have been negotiating to supply military equipment to the investor. And we're now going to link up with our reporter Mel Miendo, who is at the JKIA court. Mel, a very good afternoon to you. What more details have you been able to gather from this particular investigation?
Many thanks, Zainab. In fact, we have a break. We'll be going back to court at about 2 p.m. When the magistrate will be giving the ruling at that time. And of course, the prosecution has been asking for 21 days for further investigations. But the defense counsel, which is led by lawyer Brian Haemba, are saying that this should not be the case because they say that there is no charge sheet, and so there's nothing that the accused have been charged with as of yet. And that is actually true, Zainab, because as it is now, it is a miscellaneous application, because after this is when then the charge sheet will be given after the ruling, which it will depend if they'll be taken back into custody or not. But as it is now, Echesa and his team are still in custody. In fact, yesterday night, after leaving the DCI headquarters, they were taken to Muthaiga police station. That is where they were detained up until this morning. And in fact, they were even taken at about 10 a.m. Before they came in here, they were taken to the Milimani Law Courts first. And then now after that is when they were brought here to the JKIA. Many would ask, why then shouldn't this have been heard at the Milimani Law Courts? But there are issues as to close relations regarding Rashid Echesa with one of the magistrates at Milimani Law Courts. And so that is why perhaps they decided to come here to the JKIA Law Courts. So some of the issues that the defense has been bringing to the court, they say that the accused have been they have been in detention. They've been detained for about 24 hours, and that's what should be done with regards to the law. And after that, they should be released if there is no charge against them. And they're also saying that there has been no affidavit from the company that they were saying that's the company of the American investors. Yesterday, we saw some of the American investors who have been complaining about the fraud from Echesa and his team. There are about 4 of them, and so according to the defense, they are saying that there's been no affidavit, so there's no reason why their clients should be held in custody. They're also asking the court to actually ignore or reject the entire case in its entirety, but of course, now that will depend with the magistrate. That's Lucas Onyina, who will be coming at about 2 p.m. to give that ruling. According to the prosecution, on their side, the state counsel who is here is Jacinta Nyamosi, and according to them, they are saying this is not a small matter. It cannot be taken as a matter that should just be dispensed with quickly, because remember, even yesterday, we saw documents that had signatures and stamps from the Ministry of Defense, and so the prosecution are saying that this will involve the State Department of Defense. It also involves people who are not Kenyan citizens. We saw the American investor yesterday, and one of them is actually Poland-based. And so they're saying that they need time for further investigations. And according to them, they may even have to travel to the U.S. to continue with the investigations. And so they're saying that these those who are in custody should remain in custody for 21 days. So we're yet to see just exactly what Magistrate Lucas Onyina will decide, whether they will be taken into custody for 21 days, 7 days, 14 days. We'll see what the ruling will be, and that will be at about 2 p.m. So it's not too far from now, Zainab.